What would you do if the love of your life kept a secret that could destroy your wedding and your future? For Emma, her fiancé's confession of a 9-year-old betrayal wasn't the end of the story. What she uncovered next changed everything. 7 years ago, I, 34-year-old female, and my fiancé James, 38-year-old man, were supposed to get married. But everything fell apart because of a secret James had kept from me since 2009. Let's start at the beginning. James and I met in the summer of 2009 at a local bar where I was with friends. I was 18, he was 22, and our connection felt instant, like we'd known each other forever. You know that spark when everything just clicks? That was us. We exchanged numbers that night and talked every day after. When I left for university, we decided to try long distance. It was hard, but we promised to stick it out. I thought we'd agreed on 5 years apart, but after just 1 year, James surprised me. He'd gotten a job in my city. I was thrilled at the time, thinking it was because he missed me. I had no idea there was a darker reason behind his decision. At the time he moved in with me, neither of us was quite ready for marriage. James wanted to settle into his new job. I wanted to finish my studies. Also, my parents had recently divorced because my dad had an affair with a coworker. I hate to admit it, but knowing about my dad's affair gave me a lot of commitment issues. That being said, for almost 9 years, I thought we were solid. James was caring, thoughtful, and everything I wanted in a partner. Long distance was hard, but he gave me a promise ring before I left and swore he'd never cheat on me and wait until I finished my studies so we could get married. He'd been cheated on before, so we made a pact. If either of us cheated, it would mean the relationship was over. I said that was fine with me because trust is the foundation of any relationship. He was my dream man, and I am a decent woman, so this pact was easy for me to follow. Did I ever suspect he might be cheating on me? Once. There was a new girl in his circle he seemed to click with after I went to university. I confronted him, but he brushed it off, laughing at my cute jealousy. I felt silly for even asking. Fast forward to 2017. We were finally talking about marriage. By January 2018, the wedding planning had begun, and life felt perfect. But one night, while watching TV in bed, a show came on about a groom who confessed to cheating on his fiancée. The bride's devastation was palpable, and the characters debated whether it was better to confess or keep such secrets hidden. Curious, I asked James if he ever worried I'd cheated on him. He squeezed me tightly and said, "No, you love me too much." As soon as he said that, I felt a shift. He hugged me again and turned toward me. His heart was racing, and when I teased him about it, he said he was just hot. I joked, "If there's anything you're hiding, now's the time to confess before we get married." For me, it was a light-hearted comment. For him, it was something deeper. His nervous laugh gave him away. That's when I knew for sure he was hiding something. I pressed him. At first, he denied it, but I could feel the tension. Finally, he broke down and admitted that 9 years ago, after we'd been together for just 4 months, he got drunk and slept with someone. He cried and said it was the biggest regret of his life. He said he instantly regretted it, didn't stay the night, and was terrified of losing me. At first, he wanted to confess. He even wrote me a letter, but decided not to give it to me because of our no cheating agreement. He didn't want to lose me, so he stayed silent. I was devastated. I asked if it were the girl I'd once suspected. He said no, claiming it was a random tourist he'd met at a bar. It meant nothing, he said. I don't even remember her face nor her name. He said he was too drunk to know what he was doing, and that some of his friends encouraged him to cheat on me because a man has his needs. He couldn't remember a lot of details, like who initiated it or whether they used protection. I was shocked and numb. I felt like he was just like my dad. I didn't know what to think. My heart was shattered. For years, I'd believed our relationship was built on trust, only to find it was built on lies. James begged for forgiveness. He asked if this meant we were breaking up or canceling the wedding. I told him I didn't know if we were breaking up, but the wedding was definitely off. After that, I left home without saying where I was going. I needed space. I ended up at a campsite, alone in my car, crying until my chest ached. James called and texted me nonstop, but I couldn't respond to him. I felt humiliated, betrayed, and stupid for believing in him. Eventually, I called my friend Lauren, who said something I hadn't considered. "It was so long ago, Emma. People make mistakes. At least he told you the truth." Her words calmed me, but they didn't erase the pain. The next evening, I went home. James was devastated. He cried and begged me not to leave him. He suggested we go to couples therapy and said he'd read that some couples end up having stronger relationships after infidelity. This really pissed me off. I asked him, "So you just needed to cheat on me to make our relationship better? What kind of person are you?" He said that's not what he meant, but he didn't want our relationship to end. He read all night about how to fix things and said there was still a chance if I agreed. I told him we needed to have a serious talk about what happens next. He agreed. I told him I'd give him another chance to prove himself, but there were multiple conditions. First, he wasn't allowed to drink at public events, especially parties. He agreed. Second, there could be no more secrets between us, not even the smallest ones. He agreed. Third, since I didn't trust him anymore, he needed to win back my trust. He agreed again and even started showing me his social media accounts and messages without me asking. Honestly, I hadn't expected him to do that, but since he did, I looked. For the past 8 years, everything seemed fine. But when I checked his messages from 2009, I discovered a message I wasn't prepared to read. It was between James and that girl I'd suspected he'd cheated with. I guess he hadn't remembered to delete them. My stomach twisted as I stared at the screen. She wrote, "Last night was amazing. Can't wait to repeat it." My heart sank. I felt my chest tighten as the reality of what I'd just read hit me. Just as I was starting to think I could give him another chance, he proved me wrong. I was devastated. I turned to James, holding back tears, and asked, "What does this mean?" His face went pale and tears began to fall in his eyes. He stammered, "It's not what you think." I pressed him. "Did you sleep with her?" He paused for what felt like an eternity before whispering, "Yes." My voice cracked as I asked, "Was it just once?" He shook his head. "No, it was twice. But it was just sex. It's not that I loved her or anything. Please don't leave me. It happened 9 years ago. After that, I never cheated on you." Were there others? Besides her and the random tourist? I needed the whole truth. He shook his head again. "No, I swear. It was only them." But by now, his words meant nothing to me. All I could feel was the weight of his betrayal pressing down on my chest. I cried again and felt my feelings for him evaporate. I told him I couldn't trust him because he constantly lied. He said those were his biggest mistakes, which is why he moved to my state and applied for jobs here. He wanted to be with me and stop doing the things he'd done when he was drunk and lonely. He said he loved me, but he admitted that the long-distance relationship was hard and that he'd missed physical closeness and intimacy. He claimed he'd never cheated before and hadn't cheated on me after we started living together. He let me read all his messages and letters. And I must admit, all the suspicious ones ended after he moved in with me. Did I feel better? Not really. I didn't understand how you could cheat on someone you love. I figured he must not have loved me back then. By January 2018, I was pretty sure James didn't love me at the beginning of our relationship, but had learned to love me after moving in. Let me tell you, that's a crappy feeling. James asked if I'd still give him another chance, and I told him I needed to think about it. I decided to stay with Lauren for 2 weeks to figure things out. After those 2 weeks, I went home again. James was still a wreck. He was pretty sure I was leaving him for good, but after everything, I decided to give him one last chance. I told him I'd give him another chance, but wanted to see his emails and messages from the 2 weeks we'd been apart. He showed me, and there was nothing suspicious. He said he'd been at home praying I'd give him another chance because I was the love of his life, and he couldn't imagine life without me. I told him the truth. I had lost my feelings for him, and it was up to him to win them back. I also told him he needed to come up with an explanation for why we were canceling our wedding this year. He asked, "So you still want to marry me?" I told him, "If you prove yourself and I get my feelings back, we'll marry next year. But if by January next year I don't have those feelings, we're done for good. Also, I think I should not need to mention if you still cheat on me, then it is over forever. And obviously, these conditions that I mentioned before will also be for you to follow." I added that he needed to book couples therapy for us. He agreed to everything and hugged me, thanking me for giving him another chance. He was happy, but I was broken and empty inside. Honestly, I hated myself during that period for giving him another chance. Why, you ask? Because I felt weak. To everyone else, we were the perfect couple, but the reality was far from perfect. I felt like he didn't love me, which is why he cheated. Maybe he'd learn to love me now, but it wasn't the same. My life felt ruined. I didn't trust anyone anymore and assumed everyone lied. I felt unattractive and wondered if he'd cheated on me because I wasn't good enough. I grieved the relationship I thought we had and missed the old me who believed in pure love and honesty. I woke up many mornings wishing it had all been a bad dream, but it wasn't. It was my harsh reality, and I hated it. So why did I give him another chance? Because he wasn't just my boyfriend. He was also my best friend. And okay, I'll admit it. One of my friends had left her husband for cheating, only to end up with another man who also cheated on her. I figured there was no guarantee a new guy wouldn't cheat, so maybe it was better to rebuild with James. Maybe it was stupid, but that was my reasoning at the time. Long story short, we went to couples therapy. It turns out James had unresolved childhood wounds that contributed to his behavior. Even the therapist said he wasn't a serial cheater. It was just a mix of bad circumstances and poor coping mechanisms. It wasn't easy to rebuild our relationship, but it was worth it. James became a wonderful boyfriend. Therapy helped us communicate better and share our feelings. He started opening up in ways he never had before. He planned surprises, organized date nights, and really listened to me. Over time, he won my heart back. In January 2019, he proposed to me at my favorite restaurant, and I said yes. We got married later that year. Now we have 2 kids and a dog, and we live in a beautiful house outside the city. Our relationship is better than I ever imagined. We've both grown so much, and I can truly say he's my best friend and the love of my life. I still believe that we are soulmates, and I am happy again. I really am. Besides that, I must admit that James is a wonderful father. What do I want to say by sharing my story? Forgiving someone isn't a weakness. It's a choice. Sometimes people make mistakes because of their own struggles, not because they don't love you. I'm not saying everyone should forgive infidelity. It's not easy, and it's definitely not for everyone. But for me, it worked. We rebuilt our relationship brick by brick, and now it's stronger than ever. 7 years later, I don't regret giving James another chance. 16 years together have taught me that love, though imperfect, can survive the unimaginable, if both people are willing to fight for it. What about you? Could you forgive your partner after infidelity? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're into real relationship stories with all their twists and turns, hit that subscribe button so you never miss the next one.